Okay, good morning and welcome to Iyun with Benzion. Today we're going to investigate Daf Kufyud Beis in Yevamos, 112. We'll start from the bottom of Kufyud Aleph and Beis, which basically comes from a Mishnah in the middle of Kufyud Aleph and Beis, where we have a case where the brother died and his wife falls to the Yavam, the Yivam. And now the Yevama, comes to front of Beis and she says, within 30 days of the death of the husband, we weren't together. Right? We weren't together. So the Mishnah says we're kofin the man to do a chalitza. We forced the man to do a chalitza to her. The Gemara says that Yevamos is not a possibility because we have a get over here. She's holding a get. It's either a get from Yevamos, a get Yivmin, or a get that they were together and it's a get. So therefore there's a chance that it wasn't Yevamos and it wasn't a get that severed the marital bond. It was just a get Yivmin, which just parceled her to him and to the Achim, and you still need a chalitza. So therefore, we require the man. We force the guy to do a chalitza because we believe the woman. We believe the woman that that they weren't together, and she needs a chalitza, as opposed to believing the man. Even the man says, "No, we were together, right? We were together," and the get that she has. Right, and he's going to say the get that she has is severing the bond of marriage. And he said, I don't want to do a chalitza. Because the reason he doesn't want to do a chalitza, man, is because of the chalitza, she's asura to him forever. As opposed to a get yivmin would only make her asur to other brothers, but wouldn't make asur to him forever. So that's why he doesn't want to do a chalitza, but the Rabbanan forced him to do a chalitza because we believe her more than him. If it's after 30 days, the Mishnah says, Kofyud Aleph from a base, then even if she claims lo nivalti, so the Mishnah says mavaksha. We can't force the guy to do a chalitza, but we request that he does a chalitza. Now, why do we request that he does a chalitza? So the Gemara says the Mishnah is like Reb Meir. Reb Meir says after 30 days, it's impossible for a man and woman to be together for 30 days, secluded, seemingly, is what the Gemara is implying, without being together. So within 30 days, it's possible for the man to hold back. So we believe the woman. After 30 days, for sure they had bia. For sure they had bia together. So if they for sure had bia together, so therefore we can say maybe the woman is right. Maybe there's a possibility this guy's a unique guy. He'll have to hold out for longer, and he wasn't kohen, turned into yibum, and therefore maybe chalitza is still a possibility. So we request on that slight possibility the man gives a chalitza. We can't force him to give a chalitza because we believe the man more than the woman. Because Mustama, probably they had bia together, and therefore what she needs is a get. She doesn't need a chalitza. And the Gemara that we're talking about, she has a get. So the get already severed the marriage. You don't need a chalitza over there. He doesn't have to do a chalitza. So the Gemara on the bottom of Kufyud Aleph and Beis, the Gemara says, "Who's our Mishnah like?" The Gemara says, "It must be like Reb Meir, because according to Rabbi Yossi, it can't be like Rabbi Yossi, because the Gemara brings a price on 3 lines from the bottom of Kufyud Aleph and Beis. Tainas Basulim Kol Shoshim Direi Meir. Rabbi Yossi Omer." This price is talking about Tainis Basulim, which it discusses at the beginning of Mesechus Ksuvos, that a man has a right, after he gets married, to come to court and just try to prove that his wife, he married his wife under the assumption she's a Basula. He's together with his wife, finally has no Basulim. She must have been together with another man. Either he wants a Mechach Tos, he doesn't want to be married to this woman because he thought she's a Basula, now she's a Bula, or he wants to give less money in the Ksuba. A Basula gets Masayim Zuz, and a bullock only gets Mea Zuz, so he wants to get a discount. So when can he really make this taina? So the mayor says 30 days, because 30 days, up until 30 days, it could be assumed that the man wasn't together with his wife, and only on the 30th day was together, so then he's coming to base there. He also says no, it's impossible. If they were nistra, if they were secluded, they were together right away. So the first time the court convenes, he has to come. If he doesn't convene, he loses, right, statutes. What is it called? Statutory laws. It's a time limit to make a claim in Beis Din. Lo nistaraf lachar kama shayim. Because he says no. If they weren't secluded, we know for a fact they weren't secluded. So then man could hold back. Even their relationship, they were married. They're married. They're fully married, but they live in different houses. So we assume many years could pass by. Whatever. In 20 years from now, you can come and still make a time psulim and say, now we're a boal, and now I want to, either get rid of this marriage, or I want to get a discount over here from the ksuba. So what's the machlokes from Reb Meir and Rabbi Yossi? So how do you read Shittas Reb Meir? He doesn't make a distinction between Nisra and Lo Nisra. So there's three ways of reasonably of learning the Shitas Reb Meir. Either you can say Reb Meir holds in all cases, right, whether Nistara or lo Nistara, Shloshim Yom, right? Even if she's Nistara, a man can hold himself back 30 days. Or you can say Reb Meir was only arguing on one point of Rabbi Yossi, right? Nistara, right? Or you can say it's arguing on one part of Rabbi Yossi. So there's two ways of saying it. He argues on the first part of Rabbi Yossi or the second part of Rabbi Yossi. If Rabbi Meir was arguing on the first part of Rabbi Yossi, it would be, Rabbi Yossi says, if they're secluded, we assume they're both together right away. Rabbi Meir says, no, that until 30 days, even if they're secluded, you can hold back. The other way of reading Rabbi Meir is, no, he's arguing on the Seifa of Rabbi Yossi, that he agrees with the Reisha, that if they're Nistara, if they're secluded, everyone agrees they're together. Lo Nistara, so even just because they're in a relationship, so therefore we assume after 30 days, not after Kama Shanan, like Rabbi Yossi says. I would like to suggest like this third way, which Tosfos and Yevamos Lo Nistara on the bottom of Kufya Aleph and Beis, he doesn't seem to bring up this possibility, but I think I want to bring up this possibility in order to explain why we believe the woman in this Mishnah before 30 days and why we believe the man after 30 days. I want to say like this. Reb Meir says, everyone agrees, it makes sense. Listen, if you're secluded, if you have yichud, Nistra means yichud. Now, the Gemara says yichud, we assume almost a bia happens. It's like yichud, asrim, and Torah. It's like kilu, they were bowl together. Heinei yichud, heinei bia. The Gemara says in Gittin that if you have edus, if you have edim that they're miyached, it's like you have edim that are bowl. Even if you can see them do the bila. And normally Eidos needs to actually see a bia, and the Gemara says in Makos, Kimchol b'Shofar, you have to actually see the penis going to the vagina. You have to see that. Yichud, seeing the going to Yichud is the equivalent of bia. Yichud in many places is considered like bia. So in Nistara, and the Gemara says in many places, Enapachopos la rayas, right? If people are secluded together in a room, they're going to be together. That's just the Metzias. What Reb Meir is arguing on is when they're not Nistara. I mean, they're in a relationship. But the relationship, there's no seclusion. So Reb Meir says, no, after 30 days, even the relationship, they're going to be bowl together. And he also says, no, they can wait many years. So if that's the case, let's read it back into the Mishnah. The Mishnah says, before 30 days, say it's before 30 days, the Mishnah is not talking about a case of seclusion. That's the Chiddush I'm saying over here. The Mishnah is not talking about the Yom and the Yom were not secluded at all. So they weren't secluded at all. So if it's before 30 days, so both according to Reb Meir, so both according to Reb Meir and according to Reb Yossi, right? So then they can hold off. So for sure the woman's believed over there. For sure the woman's believed when she says lo nivala, and the man says we did bia, and I'm going to give her a get and not give her chalitza. The man's not believed at all because both according to Reb Meir and according to Reb Yossi, right? When they're not nistra, even though they're in a relationship, there's no seclusion. There wasn't a bia. We assume there wasn't a bia. We believe the woman. But if it's after 30 days, so then now we've come into a machlokes between Reb Meir and Reb Yossi. According to Reb Meir, they were sure we're both because they're in a relationship. According to Reb Yossi, because there was no seclusion, so therefore we can assume that it's a possibility they weren't both. So it's Savik Dal Raisa. And Savik Dal Raisa, so therefore we can't force the guy to give a chalitza because we're not sure, because he says that he was boel, I was boel, or Yibam. She needs a get, not a chalitza. I'll give her a get, not a chalitza. So therefore, it's a suffix whether there's bia or not. Because the Shita Rabbi Yossi, we're factoring Rabbi Yossi into our Mishnah. The Gemara says our Mishnah can even go according to Rabbi Yossi because buzzes mina, right? That he's ashamed of the Yevamos. They don't have a close relationship with his brother's wife. So therefore, we factor in our Mishnahs including both Rabbi Meir and Rabbi Yossi. So the suffix after 30 days, according to Rabbi Meir, they were boel. According to Rabbi Yossi, they weren't boel. So the suffix we don't know. So therefore, we can't force. The Yavam to do a chalitza. We can't force him. We can ask him that he does a chalitza because there's a possibility that there wasn't a bia done, like Rabbi Yossi says, but we can't force it. So that's the rationale behind that. It's not the fact like Rashi says over in the Mishnah. Rashi says the pshat in the Mishnah is that after 30 days we vade believe the woman. Sorry, we vade believe the man. We believe the man because after 30 days he said he was boel, and you can't go 30 days without being boel. So according to right, so he's learning they were boel, and so why is she need a chalitza, right? We believe the man, not the woman. We believe the man, not the woman. So therefore they were boel and they had yibum. Only need a get. You shouldn't need a chalitza at all. Why need a chalitza? It must be. So Rashi answers that. He says no, because Shavi and Avshachadicha Disura. She made herself usher by saying the fact she said after 30 days, Lo Nivaldi, so therefore she requires to have a chalitza. By saying Lo Nivaldi, she's saying there wasn't a yibam. Again, it's not going to help. I need a chalitza in order to matir myself to the shuk. But the truth of the matter is that it doesn't make sense, Shavi and Avshachadicha Disura, because she was already asura to the shuk. If we don't know anything up until now, she has zika to the yavam. If we don't know what's going on, she has the chazak of the shuk. So to say I'm asura to the shuk again is repeating something unnecessarily. It's not Shavi Neshachadika Disura. She was in a cheskaz asura l'shuk, so she's not doing anything by making it. You have to say no. The pshat is the reason she needs a chalitza over here is because it's really a suffix. Because we're factoring Rabbi Yossi's sheet that there really was no bia. It's not for sure. The Mishnah is both according to Meir and according to Rabbi Yossi. And according to Rabbi Yossi, there's a possibility without seclusion they weren't together, especially with a Yavam and Yavam, where it buzzes me now. They're bashful. So therefore, there really was no yibum, and therefore there's a real possibility that you need chalitza, and that's why mavakshin chalitza, not because of Shavi Nafshakati Yisura. See you tomorrow.